Hi everyone and welcome back. We're Rugby for Days, and in this video we're going to talk about what has happened in the Rugby World Cup so far, statistics and just an all-round recap. So let's dive into it. This is Daniel, I'm Stefandre. We run Rugby for Days, the blog, so you can just check it out. We have it in the description below, and let's get into it. So Daniel, what do you think about the rugby so far for the World Cup?
I think we've been blessed with some great rugby,
Yes.
Great teams, great matchups. I think a couple of runaway victories in terms of 40 to something, 30 to something. There was a few close games. If I think back to Uruguay, Fiji, which was a great game to watch.
Really close game.
But then nothing else comes to mind except New Zealand, South Africa. It was also a good competitive game.
Yes.
Close game. It was high intense, high risk, high reward stuff. So it was quite free flowing. I think if I quickly scan through the games, there was only one team that came back from a deficit to win the game. That was Australia against Fiji.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I'll get back to some stats now. But I think you have some interesting things you want to point out as well.
Yes, so let's just quickly go through all the teams and what was the scores and so forth. So Japan playing Russia in the opening game. Japan was victorious 30-10, which was a good match, good opening match. Russia really being in the game, the force 40, which we would see in most of the games. Most of the games, some of the teams that has not been playing so much rugby is in the game in the first 40 minutes, but they fall out in the 60th minute. So
it was a set the tone. That set the tone well for this World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
So of course Russia being defeated by 30-10, Japan beating them the first game. Then the second game, like you just said, Australia, Fiji leading in the first 30 minutes, which was good. They were playing phenomenal rugby. And the Flying Fijians, so that was very good. Of course, there's controversy after the whole Reece Hodge should have been a red card, now being banned for 3 weeks. And I think it's Yatu, if I'm pronouncing that right, got the concussion. And I think that
he played again. He played against Uruguay, so he's back.
Yes, but again, that was begs the question: would that have been altering the score? Of course, Australia would have lost. I'm putting it out there.
14 players with Yatu still on the field.
Yes,
because Yatu the brave captain.
So that would have been a good score, but of course 39-21, Australia beating Fiji. Then we saw France, Argentina.
I forgot about
Good game. France leading the first half. I think it was like 17-3. Was really a good game. They had it at the ropes, but they were just laying low the second half. They were just leaving for the Argentinians to get back in the game, and then of course ending the game with a 2-point deficit, 23-21.
I remember I remember tweeting halftime. Can Argentina come back from this?
Yes.
And I actually made a poll and said, "Cry for me, Argentina."
Yes.
And I'm sorry that Argentina came back, and I felt so bad. But you can go follow us on Twitter as well, Rugby for Days. So you can follow us there. We try and keep this updates flowing and news flowing as well.
That's good. Okay, of course, then New Zealand, South Africa, good game, great game. Lots of ups and downs, things we need to take out of that game to get better. For the South African side, I even think that the New Zealand side did learn something again, and they have made changes, perfecting their game. And it will be interesting how the pool is going to end up at the end of the pool stages. What's going to be the number 1, number 2 in this pool, and Italy, where's Italy going? So that would be very interesting. So yes, of course, New Zealand beating South Africa 23-13, a 10-point deficit, which was interesting. Then the Sunday, Italy met Namibia. It was 47-22, which is quite a big score. Again, thinking or seeing that Namibia is the 23rd place in the world at the moment, and I think Italy was like 8th or so, 8th or 9th there.
Up there somewhere.
In the top 10. Italy's in the top 10. Beating Namibia 47-22. That's quite a big deficit. Getting in running rugby. So we'll see what happens in tomorrow's game between South Africa and Namibia. That would be very interesting. We'll comment, or we'll link our video below that you can just watch out for that video dropping, where we discuss the team more in depth and the key players and stuff like that. So that will be very cool. Then of course Ireland against Scotland. You know, Six Nations getting back to it again. Did not think Scotland is gonna end up with only 3 points. Literally, I didn't think Scotland is just gonna have 3 points on the board. After all, losing against Ireland 20-73, which is quite a shock for me. What do you think about that game?
Well, it was, like you said, they played each other in the Six Nations. I think actually just above Italy on the bottom part of the Six Nations is Scotland, which is weird because they're actually a quality team.
Yeah.
Quality players. I just think they just didn't get it to pull together. They can't pull it together, and I think it has something to do with leaving Hugh Jones at home. I'm still sad about Hugh Jones not coming to the World Cup. Quality player, brings a bit of X factor, and I don't think Scotland has the game plan to win the World Cup. Simple as that. I don't think they have the game plan yet to win a World Cup.
But that begs the question, not getting off topic, that begs the question, does Australia have a game plan to win the World Cup? With the whole shifting of players all the time, again shifting it for this weekend against Wales, do they have a distinct plan?
I think they have more of an idea of what to do
than
Scotland. Because Scotland just seems to throw the ball around and at the end give it to Hogg and he must do it all.
Yes.
So because I saw videos, they were pumped up, they were ready, they wanted this World Cup, and then they did that in the first game. So that's selling something that isn't there.
Yes, I agree with you there. So Ireland beating Scotland 27-3, which was quite a shock. Then of course England taking on Tonga, which again one-way traffic, 35-3. Some might ask, you know what, England only beating Tonga with 32 points, and New Zealand beating Tonga with 80-something-7. That begs the question, is New Zealand or is England ready for New Zealand? Maybe in the semis or so. That's just
stay tuned on our channel for that video.
Yes, that would be good. You can comment below, of course. What do you think? Do you think if England now, with their peak, going against New Zealand, a bit bruised, of course, a bit, but getting back on the horse again, and it is the number one team in the world, what's going to happen between those two? That would be very interesting. I'm very excited to see that. So yes, of course, England beating Tonga 35-3. Then Wales played Georgia 43-14, which again, one-way traffic. Didn't think Georgia's gonna make a big dent. It's the only reason I think that these nations like Georgia, like Tonga, like Fiji, they're not making an impact, and we have spoken about this. It's not they don't play game time. They don't get game time. Excuse me. They don't get any game time. What's gonna happen there? How can they ever increase their game? How can they ever become a top nation in rugby if they don't get experience?
Yeah, and it's simple as that. Just give them a tournament to play.
Yes, let them play their own tournament.
Let them tour. Include them in the end of the year tours. Because every year we go play Ireland, we go play England. When I say Ireland, I mean South Africa. They come here in mid-year. We tour and we play. You have the Rugby Championship. You have the Six Nations. Give them a tournament. Include them. You know, play them against Japan. Play them against USA. Grow rugby.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we want a competitive 20 teams in the World Cup.
Yes.
Where we say, pool C is in the pool of death, A, B, C, and D is pool of death.
Yes.
Or you extend the tournament because there's 25 world-class teams that plays 5 pools of 5 teams each pool. 6 teams. You know, add something. You know, add more teams. That's quality. If they get there.
That's a good question, actually, or a good statement, because what's gonna happen is in this year's World Cup, I heard a stat that New Zealand has a 36 or 39% chance of winning the World Cup. Like, that's a good stat. 39%. And the other teams are like 20, 12, 3, 2, 0.07, I think, for Japan or another nation.
It's something.
It was something, but it was terrible. I think Namibia has like 0.00735 or something. It was crazy. It was an interesting stat that just showed that New Zealand is the clear favourites to win.
Yeah.
Now, what would happen if we played the next World Cup? Like you said, 20 teams, all pools are of death. All pools, any pool, and Scotland just rises and beats New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, and England, all the previous World Cup winners to win the World Cup. That would be something to see. But now we get into a match and we think of it by ourselves, okay, but of course Ireland would have beaten Scotland, you know? Of course Wales is going to beat Georgia or Tonga or whoever. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we want to see that, and sorry, I went a bit off script, but anyway. So Wales, Georgia, 43-14, which was quite a game. Then Russia, Samoa. Russia only getting 9 points on the board. If I'm not mistaken, we'll get into that now, but only team that hasn't scored, or one of the two teams. But Samoa 34, well done to them, the Pacifics, so that's good. Fiji, Uruguay, oh my word, 27-30. Uruguay got a W over Fiji. Now the last time these two met, Fiji, the difference in points, of course, was 32 points. Fiji did get a W against Uruguay with a 32 points difference.
That's massive.
Which was,
that's massive.
this was an upset. This was an upset. It was good, and I'm excited to see things like this. This messed with my Super Group pick, but of course,
Worth it.
worth it.
Worth it.
And then okay, so Italy played Canada 48-7, which again 48-7. That's a big difference for a team that is in the top 20, but in the top 10 team is beating them with 30 points.
Yeah.
You understand it? The difference is so phenomenal with, let's say, Ireland on second place, or Wales or South Africa on fifth place, for example, playing a team that's 16th in the world. That should be a top team, isn't it? They're in the top 20, but beating them 80-7. You know, that shouldn't happen.
It's not
So that's something that World Rugby needs to address, and I hope really they do after this World Cup. That should be important. And then the last game we saw was 45-7, England beating the USA. Again, one-way traffic. Never doubted that USA is going to upset them.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that. What do you think?
Yeah, well, USA obviously growing in stature, growing in sevens. They definitely made
Sevens
a difference. But it takes 4 years to see what they actually did, and they didn't grow at all in 4 years' time. I don't think the brave Eagles did something to be brave enough against England, but it was always one way, and they actually scored a brilliant try, which I think is in contention for one of the tries of the tournament.
That's good.
And that actually kept them, keeping confidence going into next games. So hopefully they'll change and become better over time. But actually they need more exposure to go to play new teams and stuff.
Agree.
Then something I found interesting. So there were 76 tries scored so far in the tournament, as of before tomorrow's game kicks off, which would be quite interesting to see how it progresses from now.
Yes.
With Italy being the leading team in try scoring, which is something I can't believe I'm saying.
Done.
They scored 14 tries so far in this tournament, with England bringing up second place in 11.
Okay.
So that's quite interesting to see that those two teams leading try scorers 14-11. Yeah, that's but not one of them actually has a leading try scorer, which would be Japan.
Yes.
In the first game,
of course,
with Matsushima scoring the hat-trick. He's the first.
Brilliant.
He's the leading try scorer so far.
Yes.
Then we have 6 teams, which has 2 players each. That will be Samoa. Japan obviously has the hat-trick. Australia, Fiji has 2. England has 2 players that has 2, and then England has 1.
That's very interesting. Like you said, Italy just rampaging the tries at the moment.
Yeah.
Playing running rugby, which is phenomenal. I'm also happy for them because Brice's last tournament.
Yeah.
What a captain! What a eighth man. Will be missed.
Yeah.
For Italy, definitely.
Well, upcoming stars, like they measured the player that I can't remember his name now. They measured that he played a better game than Brice did in the first game. So they compared him and they said this will be a great guy that will fill his shoes.
Yes.
And that's good to know that he will be, his successor will be good.
That's very good. That's very good to note. So yes, this video was just about statistics, what's going on with the Rugby World Cup so far. Please comment down below anything that you might have seen in this video that you want to comment, or you want to just lift your opinion, you want to say something about it. Please do please comment below. We'd love to check it out. And what do you think about the Rugby World Cup so far? Do you think that the refs are impacting the game so much? Do you think that people are just, blasting the refs out of the water and not taking responsibility on themselves to play better rugby? Just comment and just tell us how do you feel about the Rugby World Cup so far.
Yes.
But from our side, we hope you have a good day. Please like, subscribe, and do all those awesome things. And then we'll catch you in the next video.
We'll see you guys on match day. Thanks, guys.